5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are live here at Sissy's Log Cabin in the Heights. I hope everybody's doing well out there. Happy Tuesday. We are with Christo Kiffer today. And Christo is our head designer, master craftsman. There's really not enough words to really describe how impressive his resume is and how great his work is. But if you come into the store in Little Rock and you ever want to do anything custom pieces or anything like that, this is our guy right here. So Christo, glad to have you in the studio today.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, and you are from Brazil.
Yes, I'm originally from Brazil, and I've been in the United States for 18 years.
How long have you been with Sissy's now? It's been 10
It's been
years?
10 years.
10 years this year, yeah.
Since when we opened the store in Little Rock.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, Christo, you've won the Spectrum Award.
Yep.
Was it
a couple times?
A couple times, yeah. And that's a huge international design award. And, you know, I don't even remember, you've been around for so long now that I don't even remember the first time I met you. But I remember when we first, Christo was first introduced into the Sissies, we were all so excited because it really was just, it's next level having somebody like him here. From the way that you can draw, the way that you can design, the craftsmanship, he's just been able to level up and teach everybody, all of our jewelers, different setting styles, different design styles, all kinds of things like that. So let's just get into, Christo, how did you, not just get in the United States, but how did you start in jewelry?
Well, I've been in this industry for 35 years. My background is in architecture and fine arts, but I end up finding jewelry as the best way to express my professional intentions and the way I can express my creative side. So yeah, I started back in Brazil making jewelry, one-of-a-kind pieces at the time, and then I moved into manufacturing. So
did you just teach yourself at the beginning,
yeah,
or?
Yeah, I used some of my background in arts and all the basic courses in architecture with chemistry, physics,
Mm-hmm.
that helped me. And at art school, I was doing mostly sculptures and drawings.
Let's go ahead. Let's pull up the website page here real quick, and let's go scroll to the top and go to the home page. And this is Christo's website. And I want to, because now you're seeing the architecture and design and expression of what you've done. I mean, if you can look on this piece here and the setting style. I mean, I know the setting style has really become, has always been. Every single piece I've ever seen with a setting style or that quality to it, I've noticed that's definitely you. But you've made some absolutely beautiful pieces.
Yeah, that setting style is pretty much my signature style design. So,
how did you come up with that? Is that an architectural feature?
You can see that my personal designs are very architectural, and I like to use tiny diamonds.
This is a belt buckle. This is one that's won the
Yeah,
Spectrum Award.
this won the Spectrum Award in 2002 or 2003, I guess. That's another one-of-a-kind piece, and so I developed this setting style in a way to use the small diamonds as just an accent to showcase the main stone.
That's one of the really cool things to it, because every piece that I go through, I can see the setting style really shows off the stones that are smaller,
Yeah.
but it adds a lot of weight to the piece, and it's very strong.
Yeah, this setting style, we called it floating channel, because the way I set, it gives you the impression that those tiny diamonds are just floating on the surface there.
Let's go back on the website real quick onto the belt. Let's go back to, if we can, any of these. I just want to ask you, because this is something that's always been. Now, when you're looking at this and you're first designing this, is there any specific ratio or anything that you're going with for size of the diamonds and channel, or is it something that you sketch out first, or how is it that you really get the designs to go through?
See, most of those pieces, they are fabricated. made by hand straight to metal.
Yeah.
So sometimes I have a basic idea that I put on paper, I do a sketch, and then as I go working metal, sometimes the piece evolves. We find the right proportions and the placement for the diamonds. They look kind of random, but they're carefully planned.
Yeah.
So we can find the balance in the design. So
let's
that
go.
Equilibrium.
We'll skip ahead. I know I typed this up, but let's go to how did we get back to the 24 karat mounting that you designed?
It's there on the.
It's under custom.
The next one, yeah.
Yeah, custom, and then 24 right here.
Yeah.
And then let's scroll down to where the drawing portion of it is, because this is something that is so impressive and unbelievable. I almost wanted to put you on the spot today and see if you would draw anything for us if you want to, but I mean, you do these sketches in front of people right there. And one of the coolest things about having custom designed jewelry is to have a small idea or a piece of stone and then have somebody in their head come and put this on paper right in front of you. I mean, you've done some unbelievable sketches. So I don't know if you want to go through here and just kind of explain how you designed this piece, or.
Well, it's like in architecture. A design is a project. It's not only a drawing of something that looks cool and nice, but we need to deal with several elements that has to happen all together in order for achieving a successful design. So we always start with the center stone, because that's going to drive the whole development of that design.
The size, everything.
Yeah, the finger size is important. The material we choose is important. The side diamonds or the accent diamonds, everything needs to come together with harmony. So the end result, the final piece is perfect. And that's what makes custom design so special, because
let's go back here.
Yeah.
Scroll up to the picture of the loose diamond, and I think it was it a quarter that was next to it? I think it's up further.
or maybe it's
Right there. So somebody, it's a dime. So somebody came to you on this piece. Went through here. Somebody came with you with this stone and said, "I want to look through here and have a mounting made for this."
yeah.
What did you go through? What were your thought process there?
Well,
I know we can go back up to the drawing. You sketched that, but how did we get there? Was it the strength of the mounting that had to be done? I can see the way that this mounting was created right here. It's very strong, and
Yeah, this is a particularly special piece because that diamond is huge, the 24 karat diamond. And then we need to figure out a way to design a ring where
let's go back up to the drawing if you can.
It accommodates that big stone and also, but it flows with harmony through the finger.
So this person wanted to wear this every day.
Yeah. So, but also we need to, make that piece worthwhile of that magnificent diamond there. So those accents are. So we cover the whole surface of the ring with tiny diamonds.
One of the really cool things about this to me too, I don't want to. If you go back down a little bit, this is something that stands out to me a lot. A little bit further there, that's the CAD design to it. But I know, just me looking at this, the stone is so large it has to sit up pretty high.
Yeah.
And so one more picture down. Not only did you do the side stones, but also took into account that the sides of the stone would be shown off. And so you can see there's a different design of the prongs, how they've come down, and then also the pave setting across the sides too. And a really cool feature is the top of the shank over right where the culet's coming down, how you've made that to where it kind of nestles against the finger and then stays where it's not going to roll around as much. And then it's also it's not going to roll, and it's not going to tilt either on the hand.
Yeah, all those details are important in the design, and also in a fine piece of jewelry, the way we work here at Sissy's. the piece needs to be well made and look good from every angle you look at
Yes.
it, even from underneath the piece. See, the care with the finish and the design details are, to me, as important when you look at the back of the piece than it is when you look at the top of the piece.
And that's what's so cool to me. I mean, you can go through here and look. These are CAD renderings right here.
Yeah, those are CAD renderings.
So what you've done is that you've sketched it out by hand, and then if we can go 2 pictures up to the CAD design,
Yeah.
and then actually design the dimensions on the computer, and actually been able to come up with a 3D rendering of what that ring would look like before
Yeah.
it even went into any physical form.
And that's why it's important that we start with a sketch. But when I'm drawing a sketch, I'm taking consideration already all those details, like the finger size, the size of the center stone, and all the proportions. So it's already happening in my mind what I will later work on to make that piece viable. So once I have that sketch, I get pretty close of what the proportions are going to be. Then we bring into the computer with a CAD program. Then we put all those elements together in real proportion with the finger size, the size of the diamond. This way we know how high the diamond can sit and how we can incorporate all the details and make it work with the limitations we have based on those variables that we have to deal. And that happens in an important big diamond like this or in a small diamond. Every custom piece has its own story.
Let's go to the picture 9, because you just did a 24 karat diamond, but this is a 2 karat stone.
Yeah.
And so this is another one that you designed around the center stone and went with the proportions around it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean,
then we pick the side stones
Yeah.
that match there. It doesn't compete with the center stone, so all the proportions need to be balanced.
This is something that is so cool, because I mean, you can go through and either design a piece from the ground up, but it's a lot cooler to go through if you've got a stone or a center stone to go around and go through here. And the setting style on that, how did you even set those trapezoids on the side? It doesn't even look like they have prongs or anything.
Yeah, that was particularly cool because we were able to tuck the side stones at
Right
the
underneath
under
it.
gallery of
Yeah.
the center stone. So there's no prongs. The whole design flows and there's nothing to catch on, and the proportions really worked well with that
This
piece.
one too, on the radiant cut on that one, has beautiful prong setting.
Yeah.
I think it's picture 7. If we can go to that one. Here's
Yeah.
another one you've done with the 3 stones, where you've really almost put those trapezoids back underneath the stone here.
Yeah, and we have the means to source the side stones to perfectly match that center diamond that you either buy or you have it or you are reworking a old design and make a new piece. So
And that's something that's so cool, because a lot of times we talk about just finding center stone, but you're actually involved in a lot of these from the beginning of finding a stone to the point that they'll even go through and get a few stones in here, and you can go in and pick which one, the price range you want, and then build something else around it, and even have a few different designs for each stone that you want to go through and look at.
During that initial creative process, what is really cool also is that the client, it's part of the process, which makes this even more special. So it's not just we are giving one solution to one request. We can go through this creative process in several sketches, and the client's input, it's extremely important, because in the end we are customizing a unique piece of jewelry for the client.
Let's go to the next picture too, because I think, if I remember, I think this one's not a rendering. This is something else.
No, it's the
you
actual
made here,
piece.
too. I mean, and the settings. That's what's so cool too, is that you can take, whether it's a precious stone from a family member or an idea that you've seen or a piece of jewelry you've loved and come and put your own twist onto it. And I mean, it's just absolutely amazing the work that's gone on through some of these. I'll tell you what, let's go to picture one, because these are, my wife wants these so badly.
Yeah,
and,
that's very cool.
And it's just not engagement rings or wedding rings too, but you've done absolutely everything. I mean, the belt buckle is fantastic. These are one of my favorite right here. What kind of metal are you working with, or the colors to get through?
Well, this is one of my favorites also. This, like we were saying before, the client had this pair of emeralds for many, many years. And since it was a pair, it makes sense that earrings would be a good choice. So we designed this to be made in 18K yellow gold because it's a warmer alloy. It produces a fantastic contrast with that deep green pair of Colombian emeralds that are just amazing.
And you really complemented not only the cut of the stones, but the color too, with the way the rosa pave goes through there. It almost gives it like a softer, more crusted texture to it versus just having that brilliance of diamonds onto the sides.
Yeah, this particular piece actually has 3 rows of halos going. There are 2 on the top, one is slightly beveled, and even behind the piece, if you can see, there's some diamonds there too, because a earring is a more three-dimensional piece. It moves around, so the diamonds help to accent that emerald without competing with it.
You took a wonderful picture there too. I love the light going back to the gallery on the back and actually showing through there too. Right. Now, when you design a gallery like this, are you designing it for the reflection of light going through it, or from the design aspect of it, or?
Yeah, we take all that in consideration. Some stones are more translucent than others, so the way the light behaves inside the stone, it's also taken in consideration when we come up with a design, and also for cleaning purpose. And in this case, also to protect the stone.
Yeah.
See, emerald is a more delicate stone, so if we add the halo, we add more protection.
That's what even the prongs, the setting style that you've used on there protects the emerald. The way that it's cut on the sides is the most fragile aspect of it. I mean, that really cool there. Let's go to the next picture and see what. This is back to the bracelet that you've designed.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this here.
Well, that bracelet was designed for the same customer. I made that pendant that we showed earlier.
Yeah.
So it has the same design features, and again, I'm using there my signature stone setting technique, which makes this more of a collectible piece. Because again, it's a one-of-a-kind piece. It's a signed piece. It has my design technique on it. So
let's go to the website and I want to show the pendant on how you went back to it. Let's scroll to the top, and then it's under custom projects, and then
no, the next one to the left. Yeah.
Okay.
Go for the Burmese ruby pendant. Yeah.
Right there. So this is the pendant that you've made on.
Yeah, that was the first piece I made for her. She has this Burmese pendant, ruby, which at the time was actually banned in the US because some restrictions with Myanmar.
So it's a gorgeous color to it, and I love how you. I mean, how did you even get the design look to this? Because it looks like you've got your center stone, and then you have almost the first free floating row coming out of it as the rubies, almost like excreting from like rays of sunshine or something.
Yeah, the idea was if that ruby had dropped into that piece, and the tiny rubies mixed with the diamonds give the impression of a splash.
Yeah.
So and it flows towards the outer edge.
Scroll down just a little bit more, because you've got some pictures of how you created it here too.
Those pictures show the piece in progress.
So did you cast these or these?
Those were cast, yeah.
So you start off with two pieces there. They're casted. You've done the actual top and the back, and
the
then
cleaning. See the back of the piece. How
Yeah.
you can actually click on those images.
click on the top right on the gallery there.
Yeah. See.
That is
So, like I was saying before, the back of the piece needs to be as well finished as the front of the piece. So that what makes it a fine piece of jewelry. So, and that's the piece before I start setting. See, all the diamond setting is done by hand.
How do you set in that? Stay here. How do you set in that? Because those channels are very strong and they're very thick.
Yeah, every single diamond, it's hammered. The metal is hammered towards the stone.
So
the diamonds or the rubies.
But you can't see it from the design spot, so it's got to be just incredibly tight tolerances.
Well, yeah, very tight. Sometimes a hundredth of a millimeter makes a difference. Yeah, those rubies are 1.2 millimeter each. They're very small.
How many hours do you think you've put into this piece from design to end product?
I would say probably some 30 hours.
30 hours onto that? That's a gorgeous piece. And look at the picture with the fingers on it just for the scaling too. And I mean, each one of these stones is set by hand, and you set with a microscope.
Yeah, we use a microscope, yeah.
It's unbelievable to it. And here's some other ones. Let's go down to picture 5, because I've always loved these. Now, tell us a little bit about, because not only is the piece, you've made the piece here, but you've also, this is a stone that was hand cut.
Yeah, those stones are from the German designers and gem cutters, the Munsteiners. It's a family of stone cutters in Germany that they've been doing that for 5 generations. And they are known all over the world as the finest, the best color gem cutters. And every single stone is a one of a kind. They never repeat a cut. Every stone is unique, and it's precious on itself by the nature of the design and the cut, not only the materials. So we have here still a small collection of some loose Munsteiner pieces, and throughout the years here I made dozens of pieces, all of them one of a kinds, with these magnificent stones. This particular one is a aquamarine, and it's a very simple piece, but it's simple, clean, and elegant.
You've really, I mean, what's so cool about being around you for so long is that really almost the designs that you've been doing in jewelry for so long, you're almost starting to see in architecture now. In a lot of buildings, a lot of this more modern look to it, very straight angles, really cool pieces here.
And my choice for to become a jewelry designer, and with my background in architecture, was also because I could make architecture in a smaller scale.
And you can do it yourself too.
And I can control all the means of producing it. So that's the fun part of this.
Let's go. Next one is a citrine piece here. Now I remember that you actually made a chain for this too, didn't you? Was it this one or the other citrine?
Was another piece, but yeah, I haven't made chains like that too. Again, this is a citrine, a Munsteiner cut, one of a kind stone, and a one of a kind piece. Those are very special gemstones. It's the finest you can get.
Those are some great pieces, Christo. So say somebody wants to come in and get something made at the store.
Okay.
What would you say? I want to go through here and I want to remake my wife's wedding ring. I have
That's what we do here most of the time. Our process starts first with what's your wish. Sometimes you need to upgrade that diamond that you got those many years ago, and or sometimes we just need to update the design style. Because some styles they do get old. And sometimes also at that time you got that first ring, that's what we could do at that time. and now it's time to do a upgrade, not only on the stone, but the design, or sometimes just the design. We take that piece, that center stone, and your ideas, if you have anything in mind that you want to incorporate to the new design, or you have no idea whatsoever, then I'm here to help you to come up with a update on that design. And like I said before, it's very important that you take part of this process. So you take part of that creative process, and you will be part of every step from that point on. When I sit with you to do a sketch and so to put in paper those initial ideas, from that point on we move into developing the design into a CAD design. Once we have all those elements figured out, and you will be taking part on all those steps, and if needed also, if we're still because the CAD design sometimes you don't get the idea of how that piece is going to look exactly in the end. So we have what we can do also is to, once we did the CAD design, we show you a rendering, we can also 3D print for you a sample, example exactly how that piece is going to look like.
You can even see the stone
in scale. You can put the stone on top, and at that point you can have a three-dimensional feeling of how that piece is going to feel in your hand, how the proportions are going to work. And none of that, it's there's no commitment up to that point. So you're totally free. We here will go to every step, review. If needed, can go back, change here, change there, and show you a final prototype for you to try on. And from that point on, we move on to actually making the piece, which another detail that's very important. Everything is done in-house, right here in Little Rock. So we are not outsourcing this, and you will have a one-of-a-kind piece that was made by our hands here at our workshop, right here
for that person too. That's a cool thing to me also about you said making that piece for you, is that the setting style that you choose, how the diamond is held in, the design, everything is affected by, if somebody likes to play tennis with their jewelry on, if they'd like to go to black tie events.
Your lifestyle, it's one of the variables that we take in consideration when we create a new piece.
How if you want to wear the piece every day, every single thing about it. That's why jewelry is so personal. And that's why people love getting these pieces, inheriting pieces or anything, because jewelry is extremely personal, not only on how you wear it, but also how you give it to somebody too. And you're right, everything is made here in Little Rock, in our custom shop that, like I said, Christo's the master designer, craftsman, everything here. He's really just taking everything here to the next level.
And we have other jewelers here. We have a combined experience of over 100 years with all the jewelers we have here, and there will be no other place here in Arkansas, very few in the South, with the resources that we have here.
The resources and the skill, because it's not just the resources, it's the actual experience and the skill. I know that's one thing you guys are so good with, is learning from each other on the setting styles, on the casting, on every aspect of it to get a little bit better quality, do it a little bit more efficiently too.
Yeah, it takes a long time for one to be proficient in what we do, and we take pride on that. And we always aim to achieve the best result we can and provide the highest quality we can. And there are a handful of places in US that can do that.
Well, Christo, anything you want to say before we start wrapping up?
Well, I would say that we are always here, ready to serve you,
and it's an experience too. It's not just the. I mean, that's one of the. We always talk about Sissy's Log Cabin and trying to bring the experience. I mean, we're so proud to have Christo because to be able to work with him and seeing that it's not something that other businesses get to have, but a lot of things that most people don't ever get to see. And so it's always been a treat for us to see the pieces that you've made for other people, the experience and how much time you put into each person and the relationships you build, because a lot of the times with you, a lot of the customers won't talk to anybody else. They want to come in and see Christo.
That's true.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, it does for sure, because that's just not only a, kind of a show off for your craftsmanship, but also your customer service, your experience, and everything that you brought to this. So.
And for me, it's a pleasure, because every new piece, every customer, it's a different experience, and I enjoy sharing all this and being part of those special moments and what those special pieces mean to each one. So that also is taken in consideration when we develop something. It's a whole experience, and it's important to me, and it's important for the customer that they find the satisfaction they are looking for, and we are going to do whatever it takes to make that piece as perfect as possible.
Well, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Christo, I can't thank you enough. I mean,
my pleasure to be here.
A custom piece from Sissy, especially with Christo, it's not just getting the piece; it's getting a piece of, the art that you offer, the experience, on all the years of it, all the years that you've gotten to where you are now to have the skills that you are now. So that's, I think, one of the reasons people take so much pride in it when they do get a piece from you or a design or anything like that. So. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to our Tuesday Trunk or our Tuesday Extraordinaire here. This is Christo Kiffer. He is in our Little Rock store. He's got his office down here. If you ever need anything, come in and stop by. If you'd like to look at doing anything custom, whether you have inherited a diamond, you want to redo something, or you have seen something or imagined it that you want to get done, let us know. Come in and we'll be here. Hope you'll join our Ideally Flawless group. We're having a mounting giveaway for our bridal show we're doing this Saturday also. So the last 2 weeks are all over bridal. It's our 50th anniversary sale, and every single one of our stores is open. Hope you guys can come in, have a great time, check us out, and remember, life's too short for ordinary jewelry.